It's hard to think back before CECO. It's been 20 amazing years, but when you think back to it, one of the big things I think about is Vicky driving around in a car from therapy session to therapy session, meeting with doctors that said he'll never do this, he'll never do that. And it was a very trying time. It was a very tough, it was 5 years before we got started for Joseph.
My parents are Hungarian, and conductive education is based in Hungary. So my parents worked real hard, and they contacted their relatives in Hungary and said, can you help us get a conductor for 5 weeks? We've got some families here and with Joseph, and we want to try it. After that first week, actually, it was unbelievable. Joseph was happy. He was socializing. He was engaged in the activity. He feeds himself. He eats typical food. I mean, this is a kid where they said, put the G-tube in him and he won't be able to ever eat. He won't be able to feed himself. And he's proved them wrong, and not just Joseph, but that was kid number one. All those kids throughout these 20 years that we're here now have learned that conductive education is such a powerful method of learning.
When we started the program, all we cared about was getting a program for Joseph, who was 5 years old. And the truth is, you needed to come up with programs that met the needs of our students, whether they're children or adults. So we have a youngster program, and the earlier they get involved, the better the outcomes could be for the kids. Then we have our school day program. It lasts until they're up to 22 years of age. And then at that point, we have an adult program from 22 years and above. We have a summer program. It gives people an opportunity who can't necessarily afford to move here, the ability to experience the program and get the benefits and hopefully be able to use some of it at home. We have individual sessions. The individual sessions are in person or through virtual sessions, because we need to get to more people and we need to get them to have the benefits of this program.
Emma's birth resulted in lack of oxygen, which then led to the diagnosis of CP. And when it was time to think about school, I was really struggling with where's going to be the right place for her. I was a teacher for 12 years, and I knew that I did not want my daughter just like segregated in a classroom. And actually, I really didn't think I was going to send Emma to school until I did some research and found CECO. I called CECO and went for a tour. I walked around and I was just like, I was blown away. Like, I was getting emotional walking and seeing. I actually could get emotional now, like seeing what was going on. I'm like, this is it. Like, this is the place. We were super excited to see what development she would make because of CECO, and just to be in like a school community setting that really felt like a family. And that was really important for us.
My sons were born at 25 weeks, and they spent their first 6 months in the hospital. During that time, my son Oscar suffered a massive brain injury, and now he has severe cerebral palsy. We have a pretty complicated life. My husband and I both work full-time. We're both professors at the University of Mississippi. We live in Oxford, which is a small town. There are very few resources here for our family and for kids like Oscar. So we started looking at what might be an option for summer camp. And Oscar was 1.5 when we started looking, and that's actually what brought CECO to our attention. CECO was the only place we could find that had a summer camp program that targeted 2-year-olds.
Probably my favorite thing about CECO is meeting other parents, meeting other families who have the same reasons for traveling.
To get to Orlando is a major investment for a family, but it's worth it, because when we get to Orlando and we know that people are helping Oscar, who know how to help Oscar, that's really, really important.
People have gone from other states and just picked up and left their family, left jobs to bring their child here. You know, a lot of our families can't afford to come to CECO. They can't afford what this is. Just about every dollar that we raise goes directly to the children in the classrooms and the scholarships. If you ever wanted to invest $1 and you ever wanted to see a great return on it, this is the place where you should invest, because you see tangible differences in a very short time. And you're not only making that impact for the child and the adult that attend, but their families as well. You keep families together. You keep them able to thrive and live together and enjoy the things in life that sometimes we take for granted because you're not in that situation. But it means so much to everyone that's here. And the idea that they know that this thing is here for the life of their children and into adulthood, and that they have a place that's very special, that they will always be cared for. It truly is an amazing place and does amazing things.